In this Get Pregnant Now Quickie episode, we're going to talk about how you can support healthy estrogen levels and detoxification for optimal fertility. Welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, the podcast helping women identify the real reasons you haven't conceived or stayed pregnant so you and your partner can finally grow the family of your dreams. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. Let's dive in, shall we? And this Get Pregnant Now Quickie, you'll walk away with the difference between low estrogen and high estrogen symptoms in your cycle, key nutrients and foods that support healthy estrogen production, and also how to support estrogen detoxification so your body can maintain optimal hormone balance for your fertility. So let's talk about estrogen. We dived much deeper into this in episode 204, so definitely give that a listen. But bottom line is estrogen is not a bad hormone. It is essential for fertility to stimulate follicle growth, build your uterine lining, and produce fertile cervical mucus, among many, many other things that we need as women. But problems arise if your estrogen is too low or too high relative to progesterone. Your body needs production and clearance to work together. This is something that I walk through with my one-on-one clients because so many women are coming in thinking that they have estrogen dominance when sometimes the real issue is actually they have low progesterone, poor detox pathways, or honestly, their nutrients are depleted. So let's talk about signs of low estrogen. Low estrogen can often show up as shorter cycles, little or no cervical mucus, a thin uterine lining, low libido, vaginal dryness, and difficulty ovulating. Low estrogen can occur when the body lacks the nutritional building blocks required to produce hormones. And this is why nutrition is such a big focus. It's one of my fertility foundations that I always have my fertility clients start with in the very beginning. Because hormones don't just appear out of thin air. Your body needs very specific nutrients to make them. So let's talk about what those nutrients look like. Estrogen is produced from cholesterol and requires several other key nutrients. And I'm sure if any of you grew up in the 90s, like cholesterol got such a bad rap, and so many people are on statins these days to lower their cholesterol, but we need cholesterol and healthy fats to build our hormones. So let's talk about B vitamins, especially B6, B12, and folate. These support hormone synthesis and methylation. Some really nice food sources are pasture-raised eggs, wild-caught fish like salmon, grass-fed liver, avocado, dark leafy greens. And many women trying to conceive are actually depleted in B vitamins, especially if you've been on hormonal birth control in the past, or even if you're taking a conventional over-the-counter prenatal that contains folic acid instead of folate. And this is definitely something that we address early on inside of my one-on-one program. And I will honestly say, I had a 43-year-old client that I worked with this past summer. She was taking a prescription prenatal vitamin, which contained folic acid. We instantly switched that up to one of my highly recommended prenatals. I'm not saying that this was the only thing, but this was definitely a huge thing for her. She got pregnant naturally in 3 months, and she's about to have her baby in 2 months. So it's amazing just what these little tiny fertility pillars, what they can do for your fertility. Healthy fats. Hormones are built from fat. A low-fat diet is going to hinder your hormone production. Healthy fats can look like avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, wild salmon, grass-fed butter, ghee, all of those beautiful things. And then, of course, we have zinc. Zinc supports ovarian function and hormone signaling. Foods rich in zinc include oysters, pumpkin seeds, grass-fed beef, chickpeas, just to name a few. Now let's talk about signs of high estrogen or estrogen dominance, which tends to be thrown around a lot these days. So high estrogen relative to progesterone may look like heavy or painful periods, breast tenderness, PMS or mood swings, fibroids, endometriosis, migraines, or headaches before your cycle. In many cases, the body is making estrogen, but it's not detoxifying it effectively. And this is something that I definitely am working on with my clients because the goal isn't to lower your estrogen. It's really making sure the body can process and eliminate it properly. So, how do we support healthy estrogen detoxification? Estrogen detox happens primarily in the liver and gut, and we need several nutrients and foods to support this process. So that includes cruciferous vegetables. These contain compounds like DIM and sulforaphane that help the liver process estrogen effectively. So foods include broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, arugula, and kale. Really looking at those beautiful cruciferous veggies. Then, of course, fiber. Honestly, fiber isn't really talked about that much, but fiber helps escort estrogen out of the body through our digestive system, and it is very common for women to not be getting enough fiber in their diet. So, good sources include flax seeds, chia seeds, lentils, berries, vegetables. And this is why gut health is such an important part of fertility work and something that we look at very closely with the women that I work with, because honestly, you might read on a post on social media or something like that and automatically just boost up your fiber intake, but then that can backfire and you can have GI symptoms if you do that. So it's really very much a personalized, stepwise approach that I take with my clients so they can increase their fiber without having those GI symptoms backfire on them. Then we have magnesium. Magnesium supports liver detox and hormone metabolism. Food sources look like pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate, spinach, black beans, and then, of course, proper and adequate hydration. So estrogen metabolites leave the body through urine as well and your stool. Without proper hydration and regular digestion, those hormones can recirculate back into the body. So let's talk about this very delicate fertility balance for estrogen. The goal is never to simply lower estrogen, which I feel like is a common misconception. Instead, your body thrives when your body can produce adequate estrogen levels early in the cycle, support ovulation, and then transition to progesterone being the dominant hormone in the luteal phase, and then also detoxifying hormones effectively afterward. It's a very beautiful and delicate rhythm. It doesn't have to be battle of the estrogen and the progesterone, right? And when we support both production and detoxification, we often see cycles becoming more predictable, ovulation becomes more robust, cervical mucus increases, and these are all things that I'm commonly helping my ladies with. So let's recap what we covered today. Both low estrogen and high estrogen can disrupt fertility. Nutrients like B vitamins, healthy fats, and zinc support estrogen production, and foods like cruciferous veggies, fiber, and magnesium support estrogen detoxification. And when both production and detoxification are balanced, your hormones are going to work in this beautiful symphony together with your cycle and fertility instead of against it. Like I've mentioned, this is exactly the kind of work I walk women through inside my Fertile as a Mother one-on-one program, identifying what your body specifically needs so we can support your hormones in a targeted way, because hormone balance is not about guessing. It's not about trying a supplement that you read about in some fertility group. It's about understanding what your body needs. And when that happens, your fertility becomes possible again, and it can happen in as soon as just a couple of months. So if you're ready to really learn more about what's holding your fertility back, book your free fertility strategy call, and let's uncover the real reasons you haven't conceived yet and create a customized roadmap to restore your fertility starting as soon as today. So head to the link in the show notes, book your call. I can't wait to help you out. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a gorgeous day, and I'll see you on our next episode released every Tuesday and Thursday. Are you ready to finally discover why you haven't been able to get or stay pregnant? The Ultimate Fertility Blueprint is a quick, insightful quiz designed to reveal your overall capacity to conceive and help you discover potential root causes and areas to address to improve your fertility so you can finally get and stay pregnant. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a quick reminder and disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Always consult your doctor or healthcare provider before starting any new supplement or protocol, especially if you're actively trying to conceive or undergoing treatment.